Senator, thank you, sir. Now for the other side of this complicated issue, Democratic Congressman Eliot Engel of New York is a member of the Energy and Commerce Health Subcommittee. Congressman, welcome to you. Are you surprised? I know you're in the House and you're not in the Senate, but are you surprised about what I was just talking to Senator McConnell about, how the fact that a lot of the Republicans, a lot of Democrats have no idea what's in Harry Reid's bill as it goes to the CBO to get scored?
Well, I think they have an idea of what's in the bill. I think the final touches of the bill, Harry Reid is putting together. I don't know what goes on in the Senate and the House. I think that the bill will probably be unveiled tomorrow. A lot of us have negotiated it and discussed it, but until they release it, we haven't read it before they release it. I know that our leadership says there's going to be at least 72 hours after they release it to read it and before we vote on it, and I hope that everybody will read it.
Congressman, I know you're a big advocate of the public option, and I guess my question to you is the same question a lot of people have. If you have this public option and you have no guarantee that the young and healthy people in this country will sign on to it, yet you have to guarantee that the sick can get insurance, how do you pay for something like that? If you're an insurance company that's only insuring burning houses and not the ones that are not burning, you're going to lose money. How can you pay for this with those rules?
Well, let me first of all say the public option, what it really is really being distorted. Not everybody is eligible for the public option. Only the people that now currently don't have health insurance, or if their employers will not offer health insurance, they're the ones who will be eligible for it. If you or I have health insurance and we're working, we're not eligible for it. So much has been made out of this public option. Look, I think the insurance companies love the system the way it is. No one controls it. They're in collusion with one another. They regulate the rates. They toss out people for pre-existing conditions. They don't insure you if you change jobs. This will all change. We think premiums will ultimately be brought down with the public option because in order to compete with the public option, the insurance companies will have to lower their premiums.
But I guess the question has always been, Congressman, how do you compete with the government? I mean, the government has a bottomless supply of money, and the government's not about to let this public option, government-run insurance go broke. So how do you compete with something that can never run out of money?
Well, this is not a single payer where the government is taking over the health insurance plan. I have no problem with that. In fact, I support it. But this is not what we're talking about. This is an option so that people in various states can have competition with the insurance companies who right now only compete with themselves.
What if it loses money?
Well, I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But right now, the public option is important.
Medicare has $36 trillion of unfunded liabilities. What if this thing loses money? Is the government going to say, okay, fold it up, it's losing money?
Look, I was just on a show or another show on Fox a couple of days ago, and the moderator there called Medicare a failed program. And Medicare has lifted so many senior citizens out of poverty. In the 1960s, more than 75% of American seniors were below the poverty line,
but it's broke,
and now it's the flip.
But it's broke. People love it because it's free health care. They love that, but it's broke, and it's got $36 trillion of unfunded promises.
Listen, when Bill Clinton left office, we had the highest surpluses in American history. And with the Republican Congress, we could have used that money to fix Medicare. They chose instead to give tax breaks to the rich and spend all kinds of money on frivolous things. So I don't think Republicans, I don't think that Republicans have a right to lecture anybody about fiscal responsibility. This is a policy.
The computer's going to take over. I greatly appreciate your time. Representative Eliot Engel, thank you very much, sir. We'll have you back on. It was a great conversation. Thank you. Martha?
Thanks.